do day to day as a business, give you a tiny bit of background on that, really literally take 2 minutes, and then wanted to introduce you to some of the things that we see that make our vendors more successful, and some of the things that make them less successful as well, and then talk through the same thing from an affiliate standpoint. We often get asked, what makes a super affiliate versus someone who maybe just doesn't make quite so much money or isn't successful at all? What are the key differences? So I wanted to talk through that, talk through some general success tips within the internet marketing space, and then move on to the great questions that you guys have asked as well. I think we had something like 90 questions, and we're going to try and get through as many of those as we can. A little bit of overlap between some of the questions, so we've tried to pick out representative questions for us to go ahead and answer. So let me just see whether I can get my slideshow to work. There you go, we do. We're in business. So really quick on ClickBank, who we are and what we do. And just to say, initially I'm speaking here with an English accent. Michael and I are both based in Denver, Colorado, just outside Denver. And we have two offices, one in Denver, one in Boise, Idaho. So we're a pure US-based business, but we actually transact on a global basis. And essentially, for those who are totally new to ClickBank, and this is kind of important to understand maybe a little bit of the history of ClickBank, because when we come to answer the question, some of the answers to the questions are predicated on the fact that we built, or the founder of ClickBank, a guy called Dr. Tim Barber, started creating ClickBank in 1998. And what he wanted to do was to create a platform for e-commerce that was essentially affiliate-driven e-commerce for digital products, but a platform that would work and run on its own. So the idea is that a vendor of a product, so someone who has a digital product that they wish to sell, can bring that to ClickBank, and they can establish it within the ClickBank marketplace that those who've been there would know very well. But that marketplace isn't a marketplace for consumers to go and browse products. It's a marketplace where affiliates can go and identify the products that they want to promote. They can choose the products, and we'll talk later about selection criteria for products, that great question, what is gravity, how do we calculate it, all of that great stuff we'll come back to and talk to. But the important thing is that ClickBank is not a destination for consumers to come and browse products. The marketplace is there for the affiliate only, and the affiliate then promotes the product to customers who, largely on an impulse, I would say, through search techniques on the internet, certainly historically through organic search and AdWord purchases, are really positioning themselves to respond to the impulse query that someone would make in Google. I want to lose weight, I want to run faster, I want to jump higher, I want to get my girl back, whatever it may be. And they are the three key constituent components within ClickBank. And we've created a platform that will essentially work on its own without our involvement, but which will also track what happens. So when an affiliate decides they want to promote a vendor's product, how do we know when a customer clicks on that product somewhere in the internet which affiliate it was, and how do we track that all the way through to the vendor, such that when the consumer buys the product, we know which affiliate drove the traffic to that vendor page. In terms of numbers, just to scale the kind of operation that Tim Barber has been able to design and build, we're now at a position where we have something like 100,000 active affiliates around the world, and I think active for us means that they've done a transaction within the last 12 months, I think it is. So actually transacting within the ClickBank world. We see upwards of 35,000 transactions a day, depending on the time of the year. I said we're a US-based business, and we've got lots of questions about paying out in Romania and Italy and stuff like that, which we'll come and address later on. But in terms of where the consumer is when they purchase a ClickBank product, about 40% of the purchasers are outside of the US. Something like 50,000 products for those 100,000 affiliates to choose from in hundreds of niches. And as you would know, we pay up to 75% commission. And that commission rate is set by each vendor. And the commission rate will vary between 1% and 75%, but the average is somewhere around the 70% mark. So it's a great place for affiliates, and it's a great place for vendors who know how to work the ClickBank system. And probably the thing that we're most proud of is the fact that we've paid out now $1.9 billion to our clients, so to vendors and to affiliates since the inception of ClickBank. And that number is going to hit $2 billion, I believe, just before Christmas this year. So it's a really big thing for us. And I think, when you ask most of our clients why they do business with ClickBank, it's because we pay out on time every time. So that's really just kind of background on who we are. I wanted to talk about vendors and how they launch on ClickBank. And first I was going to start with the don't. And this is quite amazing. For those of you who remember the movie Field of Dreams, which I think was with Kevin Costner, I think he had a dream or something like that one night, and someone came to him as a vision and said, build it and they would come. And that was the movie was that if you build this ballpark in your in amongst your farm crop in Iowa or wherever the movie was set, that they'll come. The baseball players will come and they'll play. And unfortunately, most vendors who launch on ClickBank treat it as a field of dreams. So we did have one question to that point. I've launched my product, I've put it on ClickBank, it's in the marketplace, I've done everything I was supposed to do and actually haven't sold anything. So it doesn't work as a field of dreams. It's actually much subtler than that, and it's much more hard work than that. So I'm going to get Michael's going to talk us through the how you should work with ClickBank in the vendor do's.
Sure. Thanks, Neil. First, I wanted to preface this section on just a little explanation as far as what I do with ClickBank and what we've done over the past 18 months in trying to help vendors out. Neil alluded to, as Tim created the company, alluded to the idea of us creating this as an engine, really, a platform, a foundation for people to come and utilize, and it's made an enormous amount of people very, very wealthy. And historically and really traditionally, we've been very hands-off. We've allowed people to use the marketplace and the engine, if you will, to make money online. And what we've seen over the past few years is really our affiliates and vendors, they do need help, and they do need us to kind of reach out and guide and direct and try as much as we can to provide our insight as far as what we're seeing. And so a little over, it's been almost 2 years now, we created a department called the Account Development Department. And the sole purpose of that department is to reach out and help what we call vendors. These are product developers, whether or not they're creating a piece of software, or writing an ebook, or creating a membership site, or putting together various types of training videos, whoever the content creators are. That's what we call vendors. And the point of this department was to help these vendors to get on the ClickBank and try to explore how you actually do this. And there are lots of unanswered questions still, but lots of $10,000 questions or secret sauce that some vendors keep very close to their chest. But I want to explore a little bit about what we see as some common threads and some success traits that we've really put together as commonalities with vendors out there. The first one, the bullet point on the screen, is be passionate. This is not a side thing that people can do just by putting a half an hour in a week and expect something to happen. I think that there are lots of people out there with full-time jobs who are doing this on the side, so don't get me wrong, but the passion has to be there. If you can't bring your energy, your know-how, your passion to the table, you really aren't going to have the amounts of energy that you need, the stamina that you need to continue. And there are going to be lots of ups and downs on this road. And as many of you might know already, depending upon where you are in this whole process and whole adventure. So please, I implore you to bring the passion to the table. The next one is having the pre-launch. There are lots of vendors out there who, really just put their heart and soul into their product, and they spend an incredible amount of time creating the product itself, and maybe even the website as well as some FAQs to support the customer service for the product. But where they start to fall short is the actual promotion piece. And lots of vendors I work with, they say, hey, you know what? I'm not a marketer. I'm not a an internet marketer that's out there. I'm a product creator. But now more and more what we're doing is we're helping vendors to kind of reach out and start developing that internet marketing sense. And what we found is several things that can really help promote a product. And for all you affiliates out there as well, for the people who do not have products yet or just promoting products, there's some really key points in here for you as well. So the first one is starting and running a blog. And a blog, everybody, gosh, it seems like everybody's starting a blog these days. And the key to starting and running a blog is, again, going back to point number one, which is pouring your passion into it. Letting people know who you are and what you bring to the table. What do you know about? What's your experience? What are you passionate about? And what can you write about that other people are going to start flocking to your blog to read about on a daily basis? So that's very key, and I think that Adam talks about that as well as far as having a blog. All kinds of SEO and different types of benefits also from having a blog out there. Building a community can also kind of spawn out of having a successful blog. And a community also can be built by adding, well, if you look at the next bullet point, to add value, give stuff away kind of a thing. But a community is more than just a list of people. A community is a group of people who you've reached out to and you've provided value to, that you've shared yourself with, that you have some sort of connection with beyond sending them a marketing email or an affiliate link and trying to coerce them or encourage them to purchase a certain product. A community is more of your extended family, your extended friend-based base, if you will. So adding value is more than just giving stuff away. Adding value on your blog could be talking about something that you're really interested in or that you have a passion about or you have a history about, an education about. So that's really the key to building a community is adding value, keeping them involved, having a blog, talking about it, and not being afraid of really showing people who you are. The next one is gigantic interest. And I saw several questions come up about how do you build your list or what's the best way to drive traffic and what's the best way to make sure you have success on ClickBank. And the list is ultimately one of the biggest success pieces that I've seen vendors put together, affiliates as well. And a list, can be built several different ways. And Adam teaches you in NPC as far as building lists. I think a really foundational piece of building a list is giving away free stuff. If you have lessons that you can give away, mini courses that you can give away, video courses that you can give away, anything that you give away to your group or to your community to build that list is key. Networking with affiliates. Once you get out there and you have a product that's ready to go, it's your turn to shine. It's your turn to really connect. We've had vendors who are enormously successful on ClickBank that have actually visited affiliates in their hometown and got to know them as people. You don't have to go that far, but networking with affiliates is definitely key. And then JVing with others. And JV, in the industry, of course, a joint venture is partnering together with somebody to either reciprocal mail or do some sort of a revenue share with them. And what you want to do is get to know who of your affiliates are willing to JV with you and who of the other vendors on ClickBank or even outside of ClickBank who you can talk to get on the ClickBank, who is willing to cross-sell or upsell with your product to make it a complimentary offer to the customer. So making sure to pay attention to JVs as well. And then contribute, participate, and pay forward. I think that really just says it all. Really contribute to the world, contribute to your community, contribute to your list, participate in your niche. If you're out there and you're commenting on questions, you're answering, you're providing value, you're participating in the network of people who are in the same niche that you're trying to assist, that's the way you can really start to pay it forward. And pay it forward, give value, really, in 2 words. The next bullet point is extremely important, and Neil touched on this about the field of dreams. It's about setting proper expectations. When you step into ClickBank and you figure, I'm going to strike it rich, I'm going to put together this product, throw it in the ClickBank marketplace, and I'm going to be a millionaire in the next couple months or even a year. Be very realistic with this and set out a good amount of time. 3 to 6 months for pre-launch is something that's not out of the ordinary as far as putting in the time to make that go. And keep going until you have your list built out. And that's, again, that's why you need to be passionate, is just to make sure to bring all of that energy to the pre-launch, to your community, to your list. And those are some common threads that we bring to you tonight as far as vendor dues.
Thank you, Michael. For the affiliates, we kind of, the one thing I thought about Adam's NPC members, and I kind of also, I've been with ClickBank for about 18 months, and over time have subscribed to various internet marketers lists and such like as well. And the one, I would say for affiliates and for Adam's clients, the one word that I would say that will stand you in best stead is focus. And this slide talks to kind of learn from a small niche, concentrate on something, get really good at something, and kind of build out from there. But the challenge is, let's say you've signed up with Adam, you're an NPC client, you're building your website out, you're either writing or acquiring the content that you need for your mini course, for the maybe the autoresponder beyond that, for the website, for the article marketing that you're going to do, the link building that you're going to do. Inevitably, you're going to, let's say, start using something like Traffic Travis for figuring out where you're ranking within the search engines, or using rapid free traffic for link building and for article marketing. You're inevitably going to, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you're just going to be taken slightly outside of the course that Adam has taught you, and you are going to have to go subscribe to some other internet marketing products as well, good products that you will need to become successful. The issue with doing that, and I'm not saying you shouldn't because you're going to have to, but the challenge you'll have is you're now on the list of some of the best marketers in the world. And every day, and I see this because I'm on the same lists, you'll get a great offer where Adam is recommending that you go watch this video, not our Adam, I was thinking of another Adam on Adam Horowitz's list. Adam Horowitz will tell you that somebody else somewhere has got something that you need to listen to today. And then, Mark Lindsay or somebody like that who's running one of the article marketing sites will have you on their list, and they'll be suggesting that you go learn something else, go listen to this video. And all the while, that is diminishing the focus that you need to have to become successful. So my message would be, work with Niche Profit Classroom. That's what you've subscribed to. Stick with it. Figure out, how to make it successful. Understand your niche. Stick with it. Ignore all of those other emails that are coming into you. There may be some good stuff there, but I've met people who've been. I'm thinking of a German woman that I met at A4U Expo in Munich in June. And she told me, and I'm going to get the number slightly wrong, but I think she said she bought, let's say, 50 different internet marketing products for exactly the reason that I've mentioned. She started with one, she got on another list, and all of a sudden she had 2 or 3, and then she was in a situation where she was totally unfocused, and she ended up spending money, not actually making it. So hopefully that makes sense. Stick with what you're doing with Adam here on NPC. Yes, go out and buy the other bits that you need to be successful and to do article marketing or whatever it is you need to do, but then just focus. We wrote a blog, just moving on to something called 7 Secrets to Success, and we'll run through this very quickly. We had a blog written for us about a year ago about what are the key differences between a super affiliate and a regular affiliate, someone who maybe makes a decent living but not a fantastic living. And we had somebody create these 7 secrets to success for you, and it really does apply to anyone who's trying to make money on the internet, whether you're a vendor or an affiliate. And the first one, I think, Michael, you can talk to this one, yeah?
Absolutely. I mean, taking action is one of the foundational pieces of being successful on ClickBank, being successful in life, really. I mean, if you take this in a greater sense. But, we tend to find ourselves, and I speak we in just, the vendors and affiliates that I've worked with, we find ourselves in the get ready mode. You're getting ready and we're learning, and we're not really ready yet to actually do anything. We're gonna read another book, or we're gonna go through another course, or we're gonna do more stuff. And I think one of the key parts about being an NPC is you found the course, you have it now. So use what you're learning now to get out there and do something, even if it's a half an hour a day or whatever. Just do something. Take action. Do not procrastinate. If you're getting overwhelmed with the number of things that you feel that you need to do, chunk it down. Get into smaller pieces and figure out what to do step by step. Prioritize it, and just work on one thing. Get it done and move on. The second bullet point is it's possible to spend too much time over-educating and preparing yourself and not enough time doing. That's exactly what I was talking about, just as being in this trap of getting ready. And then be prepared to fail fast and often. There's nothing wrong with quote-unquote failure. I think I was talking with Neil a little bit earlier about Thomas Edison coming up with the light bulb and quote-unquote failing 1,000 times before he finally got the right one. And I think that's something that we've heard over our lifetime, and it's something that really holds true. And don't fear failure. Get up and do it again and learn from your mistakes.
Investment as well. I think that this is a really important one. Again, trying to differentiate super affiliates from regular affiliates is the super affiliate typically invests more in their business than, and that's not because they have a lot of money to start with and they make money on money. It's because they reinvest the earnings that they make to grow their business. So that's quite a big difference. And I mean, moving forward, growing your business, and just don't be afraid to spend money on other resources that you need. And I think we'll come back and talk about internet marketing products in particular later on. And again, our message today is focus on what you're doing with Adam here. But actually, don't be afraid, I would say, to spend money on outsourcing and stuff like that. Actually, when you get some money and you have some money available, get someone to write articles for you rather than trying to do everything yourself. Persevere through hardship. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking of someone I know in particular who's a Canadian client of ours who I think at the age of 25 had 3 failed businesses, was probably $100,000 in debt, and then managed to turn his life around. Not suggesting that's a kind of plan to work towards, but most of the people who've been really successful have been through some kind of hardship. And actually, just a little plug here for, and I'm going to need to send the URL to Adam for distribution, but we were involved with a New York Times bestseller called Get Rich Click, and we produced an online newsletter for that called Get Rich Click with ClickBank. I just can't off the top of my head remember what the URL for that was. The point being that there are some great life stories in there to go listen to the hardships that people came through, whether it was illness or financial or just general job disappointment, whatever it was. Some of the stories on there are, I would say they're better than kind of soap opera television. They're absolutely compelling and hugely motivating. So if you're ever struggling for motivation, I'll get Adam to send that link out.
Sure. Believe in yourself. You know, this one again goes back to perseverance. You know, moving through hardship. Don't stopping when you consider yourself that you failed, kind of thing. You know, believing in yourself and really having the mindset that you can overcome is incredibly important. And you know, we have again the stories on the Get Rich Click newsletter site that really emphasize this as well, as far as just continuing the effort and making sure that no matter what, keep it going.
Let's build around your niche. We kind of we spoke through that earlier on in terms of building whether you're a vendor, actually whether you're an affiliate as well, and you know, maybe when we look at the marketplace later in response to some of the questions about Gravity, we'll talk around maybe which products you might think about promoting as an affiliate and which you wouldn't. And if you're a vendor, if you're looking for affiliates to promote your product, then you need to think about how you present your sales page. So we'll in answering some of the questions, we'll look at our marketplace and show you some examples of good things and not so good things there. This is kind of I wonder how many people on the call kind of, you know, built their first site with Adam and then kind of moved on and built their second site and never really tested the first one, never really did the, you know, the moving around, the changing of headers, the changing of, you know, is it a one-column page or two-column, changing the way the offer is presented, changing where the offer is presented, testing. I mean, the people who are really successful at this, I'll give you an example of probably one of the best guys about, one of the pioneers about using video sales pages is a health and fitness guy called John Benson. I heard John speak a year ago, and he said that for his last, or at that time, his most recent video sales page, he split tested 100 times just on the length of movie of the video to find out what was the optimal converting length. Now, that's a huge commitment to that, but it's the kind of dedication and perseverance, and you know, the people who are very successful demonstrate on a daily basis. And just out of interest, the baffling thing for me was that the optimal video sales letter length for him and that product that he was selling was 28 minutes, which confounded me because he wasn't letting people know at the start of the video it was a 28-minute video, but that was the length of video that converted the best. So completely counterintuitive, and that's probably the same on any website that you build. You may think one thing, but the opposite may actually be the thing that converts the best. And then promote widely. Again, some of our best affiliates started off doing classified ads and actually promoting digital products through classified ads. Who'd have thought that? Nowadays, again, I don't want you to get away from the process you're doing with Adam, and the temptation is always there to do it, but there's a lot of people are having success with Facebook right now. I wouldn't, unless you're 100% on top of everything you're doing with niche profit classroom, I wouldn't recommend you go off and start trying to promote products in Facebook. But you know, the ability to nail one thing, really understand it, and then move on and try something else, again, is a characteristic of a super affiliate. So there's some of the messages that we wanted to kind of get over, just in terms of what we've seen. Neither Michael nor myself can claim to be internet marketing experts. We just work in a company where we're lucky enough to deal with internet marketing experts and specialists in digital products of all kinds of informational products. We're lucky enough to work with those people on a daily basis. So we kind of see these characteristics rather than maybe display them ourselves. So we wanted to move on to the Q&A. We thank you for the questions. And we'll kick off. We tried to categorize the questions ourselves. As I said, we had about 91. And we started off with some general questions in affiliate marketing. So let's see which one we'll go pick up first. Let me see. Well, let's start with one from George Taylor. Nice kind of tactical question. Can anyone steal or reroute my member link to somewhere else? And I'm assuming, George, by member link, you're talking about your affiliate ID and your that you would use within your ClickBank hop link. So, Michael, if you want to kick off with that one.
Sure. The first thing to keep in mind is that there are incredibly talented hackers out there who can literally hack into anything. I mean, they could steal anything, really, break into banks and government agencies and all that kind of stuff. So when you look at the spectrum of asking a question, can somebody steal a hop link, the immediate answer is yes, absolutely they can. Now, whether or not they go through the effort to do that versus just hopping on ClickBank and promoting, that answer that question has to be answered as well. But it does happen, and what we've done to circumvent that from happening is we've created a hop link encoder. And it's a very, very easy site. It's actually, Neil, I don't know if you want to bring that up on this one.
Yeah, sure.
But it's at https www.clickbank.com/hoplink_encoding.htm, and you should be able to see it on your screen right now. And this is a very simple application that we've put together. And all you do really is you put in the affiliate nickname, the vendor nickname, and then you click on encode. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and show you just a quick example. My affiliate nickname is MIJO photo. And let's do the DSP as the nickname. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit encode. And you see how that gives me an encoded hop link to be able to use. That's 128-bit encrypted, so it's highly secure. And remember that you need to keep track of these hop links. ClickBank will not store these in any database or not track them for you, so please store those to your own database or your own Excel spreadsheet. If you ever need to decode that hop link, we do have a hop link decoder as well. So the opposite tool is available for you as well.
And that kind of leads into a question from Jill, where Jill said, how can an affiliate hide their link when promoting to a prospect? There's a number of different ways that you can do that, Jill. Obviously, that hop link that Michael has just generated there is pretty ugly. You don't want to promote anything through that hop link, I would suggest. You can use, and my recommendation as a NPC member is that you use the method that Adam shows you how to do that allows you to basically take your site domain name, put a /ebook on the end, and then have that link through to that particular affiliate hop link. So that's something that Adam does. You can also do it quite nicely using URL redirect in GoDaddy, and some of the kind of hosting companies allow you to do that, and that's a reasonably elegant way to do it. The third way, which touches a question that somebody else also asked, was about using Bitly or the Google shortener and other such URL shorteners. The problem with that is Bitly, I think it was Bitly, have started to clamp down on some affiliate hop links that are shortened into a Bitly, and they'll take you. If you click on them, they'll take you to an interim page that isn't very friendly. Suggests that the person might be going to an unsafe site, and is just not going to be good for your prospect's experience through clicking on that. So I would ignore that one and not use that, and use either Adam's method or do URL redirect via your hosting company. Now, to get the name right, Ollie Yinka asked, from ClickBank's perspective, how do you advise affiliates to select the best keywords for SEO or PPC purposes? That was the first part of the question, and I would refer that to Adam. I mean, Adam teaches that in great detail within Niche Profit Classroom. The second part of the question was, what is our best advice to affiliates promoting products on ClickBank? And I might link that question to one that was, what is the, I think this was from Kadri, it said, what are the most traffic generation methods that converts very well for ClickBank affiliates? And actually, so those two questions together, the answer is pretty well the same. I would say that right now, by volume, most of the transactions within ClickBank are driven via email and somebody's list. Not exclusively, we've still got some huge affiliates who are doing massive media buys, still doing massive PPC campaigns using AdWords, but I would suggest that email and an email list is probably the greatest volume for, or traffic source for transactions within ClickBank. And then to Ollie Inca's question, what's our best traffic advice to affiliates promoting products on ClickBank? Going back to what Michael was talking about earlier, that really would be all about building a list. Whether you're an affiliate, again, Adam teaches that in MPC through the mini course. That's basically all about building your list, getting people to subscribe. Other ways to do it, as Michael described earlier, were to have your own blog and to build your list through your blog.
Yeah, I can touch on that too, Neil. I think that a common question for me is, well, how do I build my list as quickly as possible? And with all the social media platforms that are available as well, we're seeing a lot of people say, how do I get as many Twitter followers, and how do I get as many Facebook friends as possible, or LinkedIn connections and all that kind of stuff. And I'm of the school of thought that says, it is definitely important for the quantity. We're working a numbers game, and yes, you want to sell as many products to as many people as you can, because ultimately, that's going to result in the biggest profits. But I'm definitely of the school of thought and want to promote very strongly the idea of building a stronger relationship with your list. And Adam touches on this as far as, and teaches this very well with the mini course idea, in being able to really develop a relationship with your list. Someone who your list looks forward to your emails because they provide value. So that's the way to develop a larger list, is to provide enough value for those folks to want to forward your emails, your tweets, your posts to somebody else, and virally grow that list. So that's just one point I wanted to make about the list building strategy.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. Another simple one from Tony, who says, what do I use to promote products as an affiliate, the hoplink HTML code, or do I refer to the domain name of the product? And the simple answer to that, in the ClickBank world, you must use the hoplink code and the hoplink standards that we have in terms of how to create that particular hoplink. And the reason that as an affiliate you want to do that is that's how we track through the system. So you putting your affiliate ID in the correct way into that hoplink is the only way that we can actually track that you were the affiliate that drove the traffic. Jay Warren asked, where is the best position for your, and actually just before I do that, as a point of order, GoToWebinar's got this great feature where the question box is one line deep. Unless Michael can show me how to how to actually change that.
And Adam, if we could actually reach out to you if there are questions coming in that we haven't answered already, please by all means feel free to interrupt us. Otherwise, we can go through the list of 91 and hopefully touch most people's questions.
And that's why I raised that.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, because there's lots and lots of questions that are coming up in the question box, and we've only got one line of visibility for each one, so it's next to impossible to read them. So unless you think there's something unless you've got better access to reading those questions right now, I would suggest that what we do is, if we can capture them afterwards, we're more than willing to answer them offline and get back to whoever the asker is, if we can identify the asker, or maybe we can just post an email on your site afterwards, whatever works best there.
That sounds good. Yeah, there's multiple options there, and I'll monitor these as they come in. And if there's time, you know, we can certainly answer some of these, and then any that we can't get to, I'm happy to just save these, and maybe I can send them over your way, and we'll figure out some way to get these questions answered for sure.
Yeah, and obviously we'll go through our list here, and we want to answer all of those questions. It's just kind of impractical to read them with. I know I've had that problem with GoToWebinar before, that you just can't actually get a window big enough to read the questions. So back to Jay Warren. Jay said, where is the best position for placement of live links on affiliate sites, which I guess means, you know, where do I put my my link on the site, and where do I put my offer on the site? And my answer to that, Jay, would be to go back to what we were talking about earlier with testing. It can be counterintuitive. It may be in the place that you would least expect it. So I would just test and test and test again on that one. Chad asked, and this was about the niche products that you offer on the prepared products, Adam, that you offer on a monthly basis. And Chad was saying, so we get the niche packets that include ebooks that we submit to ClickBank to promote. Does it matter how many people submit the same ebook? And then how does ClickBank regulate duplicate items being sold?
Yeah, if I could touch on that one. I think that this goes back to really providing value. And you know, it is very tough for some out there as far as the downturn in the economy, and I talk with people quite often who are in a pretty desperate state to just make a quick buck. You know, what's the fastest way I can make money online, and what's the fastest, easiest, simplest way that I can make money with ClickBank? And obviously, we don't want to take the toughest path or the slowest path or the most inefficient path. That's not the point I'm making. What I'm making is, if you're buying products from somebody else, or if you have a PLR product, use that in a different way, is my recommendation. Use that as a freebie giveaway to build your list. And then in your research of the market, or what you're passionate about, or what you know about, or what you're interested in and would like to educate yourself about, start down the pathway of creating your own product, and utilize those PLR products to really hook the customer in, or the person who you're trying to add to the list, as a way to just kind of give them something free. To specifically answer the question about regulating PLR products on ClickBank, the last thing that we want to happen, and Google uses this same strategy as well, and not to compare us, but the idea of if somebody goes to our marketplace and they search under a certain keyword, and the search results produce a list of 10 or 15 products that are all identical, that won't provide any value to anybody. Our affiliates, our end user customers, our vendors, nobody. So PLR products are pretty frowned upon in that light. We do monitor that in a way of just going through the marketplace and seeing if there are duplicate products in there. If vendors do rebrand those products, put their own names on, put their own spin on, put their own marketing approach to them, for all intents and purposes, those products definitely look different to the affiliate, to the end consumer, and to ClickBank. So there's not a really deep analysis in the actual product that way. So hopefully that answers your question sufficiently.
Okay. This one came from Kenneth Williams. Do you have intelligent software or expert that can create membership sites?
So membership sites are exploding, and this is a really great question. Whoever's digging into membership sites, and I know, Adam, you have a webinar series dedicated to this that is excellent. So membership sites and services are popping up all over the place. Ones that I recommend to people are Wishlist Member. A new one that just came out is Member Mouse. A Member is one that's been around for many, many years. ClickBank does not have any affiliations or partnerships or anything as far as that goes with any of our membership services. There is a fairly decent free membership site out there that lays on top of the WordPress platform called S2 Member. Basically subscriber to member, that's the letter S, the number 2, and then member. And if you contact me directly, and we'll put our email addresses back up on the screen towards the end of the webinar here, but if you contact me directly and you already have your membership software and you want to integrate that with ClickBank and are running into issues, I do have a list of technical people who you can hire. Again, these are not affiliated. This is just me trying to help vendors out. So I can definitely get you a name and a phone number or an email address, and you can kind of strike your own deal or sign your own contract offline to make sure that your membership site is integrated properly with ClickBank.
Okay, thank you. I think if we maybe change the order a little bit, we had lots of questions on client payments, and I was actually just looking at one in the on the list that's come in here. So let me just talk through some of the rules that ClickBank has in terms of paying out to affiliates and vendors. And I'll talk generically because I think there were lots of questions that were very similar. So there was one of the first ones is, and I'll refer back to the comment I made earlier that ClickBank was originally designed to be a hands-off kind of automatic platform that people could use, and payments would go out automatically. One of the questions that we get quite a lot is customer distribution requirements. And what that is once you make your first sale within ClickBank and you go to your payments page, you will see whether you've been paid or not, and if you haven't, it will often say CDR, customer distribution requirement. That means you haven't met the customer distribution requirement. And the customer distribution requirement says that as an affiliate within ClickBank, you have to have been paid by 5 or more different credit card numbers and by 2 different types of payment before you will actually get paid out. And I understand that a lot of smaller affiliates don't like that, and so let me explain the reason why we do it. We do it first of all to protect our vendors, and the reason we do that is it's so easy to sign up as an affiliate with ClickBank, and remember this is a kind of automated system. It's so easy to sign up that what would be to stop if we didn't have CDR in place, what would be to stop someone who wanted to buy one of our vendors' products from just signing up for an affiliate account and buying it themselves and having the money discounted, effectively buying it at a discount by someone who wasn't truly an affiliate. So that's one of the reasons that we established CDR. And the other one was from a fraud prevention situation whereby there is a lot of internet fraud. There is thankfully next to no internet fraud occurring within ClickBank, and that's because of the processes that we have set up and because of the technology that we use. And we actually use technology that was created by our sister company, Count, to help prevent or protect us and our clients from card-not-present fraud. So that's why we have the customer distribution requirement. We've had lots of questions coming up as well, which is kind of related to this. So I'll segue off to Michael here to the question that we get quite often as well is, can an affiliate buy a vendor's product using their affiliate ID? So I'll let Michael answer that particular question.
Yeah, great question. And Adam, I just wanted to note that I have been seeing quite a few comments about the poor audio quality. I wanted to present the option of us dialing in from another line, or we should continue.
Okay, on my end, Michael, you sound good, and usually on webinars where we have a lot of people, there's always there's always audio issues from time to time with certain connections, but I think overall you're solid. So guys, if you're having trouble with audio, the best thing you can do, this just happens when we have a lot of people on the call, and it's sort of a restriction with GoToWebinar. Just log out of the webinar and log back in, and that often fixes it. So, and of course, Neil, if you want to try dialing in, we can try that as well if you think. But I see relatively few comments. I think we're okay, but it's really up to you.
Great, great. Well, let us know.
All right.
Neil, can you repeat the question? Sorry about that.
Yeah, so I was explaining customer distribution rights and why we, to prevent fraud and why we want to protect our vendors, we require that our clients, our affiliates, are paid by 5 different credit cards before we actually pay out to the affiliate. And I kind of segued into asking you the question which was, can an affiliate purchase a product of a vendor themselves? Because there's lots of questions about how do I get to know the product? If I'm going to promote it, can I get it for free? Can I buy it? Do I have to pay this price? How does that all work? And how do vendors feel about that?
That's great. That's great. So all affiliates out there, please know that the overwhelming message that I hear from vendors is it is okay for affiliates to purchase products through their own affiliate account. And there's 2 schools of thoughts here. The one school of thought is, hey, wait a second. If I'm a vendor and I have, there's 100,000 active affiliates out there, right? So if I have, thousands of affiliates that are purchasing my product, but they're using their own affiliate code, they're getting the commission, and I'm missing out on a piece of the action here because, I should be getting 100% of those profits. Well, the other school of thought, and that's understandable, the other school of thought is hey, vendor says, well, I probably wouldn't have sold that product anyway, so at least I'm getting something. But more importantly, it's this. Vendors are looking for affiliates to sell and promote their products. One of the best ways to convince an affiliate to promote your product is to make sure they have it in their hands, they use it, and they have personal experience with that. What that does for the affiliate now is that positions them in a way to be able to talk about that on a blog, review the product if they want to on a blog site or a video review site, to be able to send a genuine email saying, hey, I have indeed actually used this product and believe in it, or think it's great, or think it's very useful in these ways. And it really behooves the vendor to allow that. So to answer that question, yes, if you're an affiliate out there, go for it. Go use your affiliate ID to purchase these products. Now, one caveat of warning out there is it's totally different to steal products, of course. So everybody knows that ClickBank has a 60-day money-back guarantee. If you're out there, you're purchasing products, you're keeping the product, and returning it, asking for a refund, that's a completely different story. So just wanted to make sure we noted that as well.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of ask that question of Michael in between the question we had on our customers, our client distribution requirements in terms of the number of credit card transactions you have to have before we initially will start to pay out. And the second question, which is related to that, is dormant fees. And again, this is something within ClickBank that, basically what happens is if your account is dormant, i.e. if you're an affiliate and you haven't made a sale for 90 days, then we apply a dormant fee to that, which is $1 per pay period, and we pay out every 2 weeks. So, and then if your account has still had no activity, so there's no further sale after 180 days, then we apply a $5 dormant fee per pay period, so every 2 weeks, which kind of sucks when you're a kind of someone who's starting in business, but this is only after 90 days from your first transaction. So assuming that you've got some level of activity, if you've got your first transaction, there must be some traffic on your site. And just to explain why we have to apply dormant fees, it's to do with accounting practices, and it's not directly related to the fact that we call ourselves ClickBank, but we're not a bank. and we can't behave as a bank, and we need to make sure that we're not behaving as a bank. And there are some accounting regulations which mean that the only way that we can not be behaving as a bank is not to store people's money, and that's why we have to apply dormant fees. We've had questions as well from somebody asked about the payout levels. You can go into your account and you can set your, so again, assuming you've got transactions coming in, assuming you've cleared the CDR requirement, and again, just to say you only have to do that once. Assuming you've done both of those, you can set your payout level to as low as $10, i.e. as soon as ClickBank owes you $10, then on the next pay period, which is set at every 2 weeks, then we'll pay out. Now, when you're a new client, and wherever you are in the world, the first 2 payments that you ever receive from ClickBank will come as a paper check, and that's fine in the US. That's no big deal. If you're in Romania or some other part of the world, even the UK, receiving a US dollar paper check is not a very friendly thing to receive, because it costs money to get that into your bank. If it's for a low amount, you can actually spend almost as much cashing it as you would receive. And the reason that we do that, again, is fraud prevention. We have to make sure that the person who says they are who they are and has a bank account with an address actually exists at that address, and we just send the first 2 paper checks, or the first 2 payments via a paper check, and then after that stage has been passed, you can opt to be paid electronically, and we can do ACH, XACH, or wire transfer. So there's a few little kind of niggly questions I wanted to get at in the middle around our kind of payments. Again, happy to have those conversations with people afterwards or offline. You have my email address, and I'd certainly be happy to continue taking input. Yeah, ClickBank in Brookfield, Colorado is right next to an airport, which is what you may have just heard going over our head there, and it's not usual to have military aircraft flying out of here, so apologies for that. So I wanted to start talking about our marketplace and Gravity, and how that marketplace works. So let me start with a question from Fred Urban, which I'll pass to Michael, which has got 2 or 3 different parts to it. First part is, would you recommend that we build a web page for every product we wish to become an affiliate with?
Good question, and all kinds of questions that we can answer for affiliates, and how we're using the marketplace, what's the best strategies to promote products out there, and how to do that. And let me preface this with saying, I'm not a millionaire affiliate, so this is knowledge gathered from other affiliates, and just want to share the golden nuggets that I've heard over the past couple of years from ClickBank affiliates. The question specifically is, do you have to, or would you prefer to create a website for each product that you're promoting? Not necessarily, no. And the reason why I say that is let's say a friend of mine, Jasmine Starr, who has a large following on a photography blog out of Los Angeles. She just tells stories about her life, and she has an incredible way to intertwine stories about products she uses, services she uses, and she is very upfront. It says, hey, this is an affiliate link. If you click on this link, you're going to help me out and also get a great product. So she leverages her blog to sell all kinds of different products, and there's no necessity to have an individual website for each one of those products. On the flip side, if you're promoting this product, let's say on a review site, and you want to optimize your SEO and drive traffic, organic and paid traffic to a page that has your review site, before it lands on the actual payment or the sales page of the product itself, The logic there being that you can actually get a stronger buy-in from the client, or I'm sorry, from the customer prior to them landing on the sales page, then yes, you would create an individual website for each one of the products that you're reviewing. But absolutely not a complete necessity. And hopefully that highlights that for you.
And then Fred goes on to ask what indicators should he be looking at to determine if the product's good or just okay, and some questions around products that are creating income, and then lots of questions about gravity and what is gravity in the marketplace. I don't know if you can still see my screen, Adam. Is that still visible to everyone?
It is. I can see it moving a little bit there.
Okay, so there is a page on ClickBank, which is this URL here, /help, affiliate basics, finding products to promote. So just for reference for people, this explains what the marketplace stats mean, and there is down here a nice, succinct description of gravity. I think gravity is a measure of success. It's a kind of algorithm that our founder Tim Barber created, and it does show, again, in a hands-off marketplace, it is an algorithm that will show you generally which products are attractive to affiliates, which products have lots of affiliates promoting and selling that product. It will factor in the recency of those affiliate sales, so you can see which products are hot. And so it gives you an indication of whether a product's selling or not. So obviously if a product has a zero gravity, then it's not selling. And right now, we just checked before, the top selling, the highest gravity product in ClickBank has a gravity of 667. Actually, the top selling product in ClickBank of all time is sat there with a gravity of 316. So what does that mean? It means that maybe the product that has the highest gravity right now has lots of affiliates promoting it, and therefore, or lots of affiliates selling it, and therefore it's got a high gravity. In actual fact, the product that is our best-selling product has very few affiliates promoting it, and that's why it has a slightly lower gravity. The point I would like to make is, and this kind of works for a vendor as well as an affiliate, and I just wanted to just show you so I'm in the ClickBank marketplace. I want to search for products that have got a gravity lower than 1, so very low, not selling. And let's say I just want products that were activated after, let's say, the 1st of June this year. So there's an advanced kind of search feature with lots of capabilities in that. The point I wanted to make was that, and I know, Adam, in your videos, you recommend looking for products with gravity greater than 7, I think it is, if I remember correctly.
That's right.
Actually, so what I just did was I basically made a search for, and let's just search here by gravity, and let's do low to high rather than high to low. So average dollars per sale, NA star, basically means that product has not sold. So these products have been activated after the 1st of June, and I don't have an easy way there of telling which were launched in June or later. But the point I would make is that these will be some of the vendors who have treated the marketplace as a field of dreams. They thought all they had to do was create a product, go launch it, and some magic will happen. And clearly, it just hasn't happened in their case. But that's not to say that the products are not good, nor is it to say that you wouldn't find, as an affiliate, you wouldn't find some good niches here that someone else has identified and actually created a product for you to promote. So my comment on gravity is, yes, it gives you an indication of which products are most successful and potentially, therefore, most competitive, but don't discount the ones with lower gravity, because you can find some good niches. You can also find some good products that you might want to promote. And the fact that these products haven't been successful is more likely because, you know, as I say, the vendor in each case just thought ClickBank was that field of dreams. It's not really a reflection on the quality of the product. So there's some good products there for you to go look at.
Yeah, good point, Neil. And if I could add to that a little bit, the affiliates that I work with that are you know, successful have it in their blood. I mean, they're so passionate about what they do. And when I was first really digging into this, I thought, well, you know, don't affiliates, they promote products from, you know, 5, 10 different niches, right? Anything that's making money. They go out there and they promote what's selling. You know, they find products in the marketplace that have higher gravity, and they just do it that way. Well, what I'm finding more and more is that affiliates are passionate about one thing, maybe two things. Passionate about health and fitness. They're passionate about dating. They're passionate about internet marketing. They're passionate about environmentalism. And the way that they are successful in really developing the lists that respond to those products is they get out there and they provide value in that niche. So they write articles about it, they talk about it, they join groups, they start to answer questions, they're the go-to person. They're actually establishing themselves as a quote-unquote expert in the field. Maybe they don't have a PhD, they haven't written a book or anything, but they're interested, and more than interested, they're passionate about it. And that's how they select their products. So it's one thing to go in and sort under gravity and try to find a product that's selling, but you know, higher gravity products also mean more competition. So you know, going along with Adam's school of thought of gravity around 7 or above kind of a thing, you're getting and finding products that you feel that you can promote, not necessarily products that 1,000 other affiliates are promoting successfully out there. So food for thought on that. Of course, all of this is an art. There are no black and white rules. There are no follow this blueprint and you will be ultimately successful. It is you getting out there, doing what resonates with you, doing what feels right with you, and promoting that product as something that you believe in.
Yeah, and a question from Barbara, I think it's Glennewinkle. Apologies, Barbara, if you're on the line and I got that wrong. Barbara's question is basically, how can we help our affiliates use the stats that we have created here to compare products? And to other people have asked, you know, how can we find out what the refund rate is? How can we find out which products convert better? And yeah, we're doing a number of things on a number of different levels. One, the marketplace itself is being re-engineered by ClickBank. So at some point next year, we'll have a new look and feel that hopefully will address many of the points that have been raised. In terms of conversion, you know, I think we have within ClickBank, I think if I go back to the marketplace, see this top left corner here, we have a link to something called the featured marketplace. If you actually click on that, there is an alternative view of the ClickBank marketplace which has got featured products in it. And I didn't know this was going to happen, Adam, but there you have the first product that I see when I clicked on that was Niche Profit Classroom, and a bunch of other ones. So this is just a different development of the products within the ClickBank marketplace, within something that we call the featured marketplace. And the person who runs the featured marketplace is my good friend Michael, who's sat here with me. And one of the things that we're talking about is having a top converting products tab. So we've got a home page with a slider at the top. If you click on featured products, you get some featured products. New products would be new products to ClickBank that we think are maybe pretty good and we have agreed to promote. We'd like to put a conversion tab on there so we can put highly converting products up there. The challenge we've got is that we did start doing this and we pulled the stats for it, and it's actually quite a lot harder than we imagined to find which products convert best from affiliate traffic, because a lot of the products might be getting traffic from the vendor, and then there's all kinds of little tricks that people might be using that we're not so happy with that show higher conversion than they actually get. So we're trying to work out how to maybe use this to present highly converting products. So you can see that. The other thing you can do is, if I was an affiliate and I went into our marketplace and we've got a product here called 36 Potent Foods to live healthier and lose weight, view this product, I'd go and look at the sales page, and I'd kind of try and assess myself, is this going to convert or not? When you look at that, there isn't an affiliate link, which would put me off personally. Sometimes you see vendors with a squeeze page on their sales page. If you're an affiliate, again, I wouldn't drive traffic to that kind of site. The product may be great again, and what you may need to do is reach out to the vendor and ask them to get rid of the squeeze page, because, again, if you're using Adam's techniques, then you've already taken them through a mini course, you've already captured their email address. You don't necessarily want to send them to a sales page with a squeeze page on that. And the other thing that we sometimes see as well is just leakage all over the sales page. I just click on another one randomly there. Again, this one looks nice. It looks like a good sales page at first look. I don't know where these links go to. That looks like leakage to me on this sales page. But again, it looks better than a lot. You can tell a lot just by looking at different sales pages. And look at sales pages for products that convert with a reasonably high gravity, because you know they're selling. It doesn't tell you what the conversion rate is, but it gives you a feel for a good quality sales page.
Yeah, all good points, Neil. And I think that when we highlighted the definition of gravity a while ago, I'm not sure if all of us really read through that, but the idea of gravity indicating not only the number of affiliates that are promoting, but also the number of recent sales over the last 12 weeks. So that does give you a strong indicator of what's doing well. And doing your due diligence, your research, and trying to find those sales pages that are doing well, you can quickly get a sense of what product has potential. Even though a product may have a 0 gravity or a 1 gravity, you have a sense of that. And the second point that I want to make here is there is a dichotomy between conversion and refund rates, because the question also is, how do we know what the refund rates are on a certain product? Well, what we've seen, and maybe you've been a consumer on the other end of this, but what we've seen is if you have just an outstanding or just unbelievable product offering that is just so incredibly awesome, it may be, or it may be too good to be true. And you need to judge that for yourself, again, with your own subjective analysis to find out, hey, you know what, would I buy this product, for one? And then if you would buy this product, is it because it's a good product or a good pitch? And that's a question you need to answer for yourself. So as you know, as an affiliate, you can buy these products and see for yourself, is it something that you would keep and refund? I'm sorry, if it's something that you would keep or if it's something that you would refund. You can do some research that way as well. We don't want to encourage that, obviously, but to get a preliminary feeling and sense about what the give and take of conversion versus refunds is, you may have an offer that has a tremendous amount of conversion, incredibly high conversion rates, but also on the back end could have an incredibly high refund rate. So just some additional food for thought on that.
Okay, and you'll notice that I keep giving Michael all of the tricky questions, or the ones I don't know the answer to. So here's a one from Elizabeth King, which is, Elizabeth said she had an idea for a digital product that didn't fit into any of the categories that we have in the ClickBank marketplace. Can she start a new category? If so, how?
That's so cool. So can I just say that's one of the most fun parts of my job, is to discover new products that no one else has out there. How cool is that? Just to think about the unique nature of that product. I'd love to talk with you personally, so please email me directly. We'll go ahead and put the slide back up on the screen and copy down my email address and contact me directly. I'd love to talk through your product and see if there might be a most appropriate category, one that fits. And if it is completely unique, you know, that begs the question of whether or not ClickBank would open up an entirely new category just for one product. Obviously, that leverages you in a fabulous way, because anyone who clicks on that category is going to only see your product. But anyway, I think that this is going to take more research and talking through and find out what we can do. We have opened up new products, categories, and subcategories throughout the years as the need became apparent. So I look forward to talking with you.
Cool. Okay, I categorized one question as funny. It came from Sumaira, who said, "Can I work with you?" And my first assumption was she was referring to you, or she or he was referring to you, Adam. So that could be a job application for you. If it's for ClickBank, then I believe that ClickBank is a brand name. The incorporated company that runs ClickBank is called ClickSales Incorporated, and ClickSales is a wholly owned subsidiary of a company called Kinetics. Okay, how do I get out? Let's get rid of that. So if I go up here, let me just try and get somewhere nice and easy. Just to spell it for you, kinetics.com. And if you were serious, on the Kinetics site, this is the subsidiary that, the holding company that owns ClickBank and our partner account. Somewhere on here we will have a jobs board, I'm sure. There is, I just don't know where it is. But anyway, so that would be the place to go after that. We had some great questions on the FTC and stuff like that, so I'm going to take Barry's quote. "ClickBank is confiscating commissions and the FTC is going after anybody who promotes ClickBank products. Is this true?" That was, so he was quoting, that was the unquote, "Is this true?" was Barry, and then he goes back to the quote, "Google Panda has killed the other 90% of the remaining sites," unquote. The above quotation is obtained from, and he gives a website. "I'm extremely concerned. Is this true?" No. Next question. No, I'm joking. No, it's not true, Barry. I mean, ClickBank is not confiscating commissions. We had lots of questions about how do we know if the product's good or bad. We all know, and there have been some products that have been massively over-promoted on ClickBank. Well, I mean, just generally on the internet, and many of the products on ClickBank, certainly in the internet marketing space, have been over-promoted. And we all know the kinds of videos and sales techniques that have been used for those products. Now, one thing we can't do within ClickBank is evaluate the product itself. You know, we can't read an informational document and know whether it is going to help you lose weight, nor can we evaluate an internet marketing membership site and know whether it is going to do what it's supposed to do. However, what we can look at, and what we do look at with guidance from our legal team and on the understanding of what is and isn't permitted by the FTC and other regulators of the internet, including Google, you know, we are able to control and approve products based on the sales page that they are presenting to us for review. And that is what we do, and we have got particularly strict on that, and Adam very kindly blogged about this back in August, I believe. So as of the beginning of August, you know, we have started cleaning up a lot of those just unethical, I would say, promotional techniques that have been adopted, particularly in the internet marketing space. And you know, my guidance to anyone listening about whether a product's good or not, you know, when you read the sales page or watch the video, if it's too good to be true, then, or if it sounds too good to be true, then it most probably is, and I would move on and do something else. Now, having said that, there are still products out there that have got that are available in ClickBank and that we haven't got to yet in terms of reviewing the sales pages because they may well have been approved 6 months ago. When they come to our attention, as one did today, we close it down. So I was personally advised of a site this morning when I got into the office that was using outlandish promotional techniques, and we had that site taken down by 3 p.m. The way that we monitor the quality of the product is through the refund rate and the chargeback rate that we see in that account. So we say that we can't evaluate the product before we approve it. We most certainly can evaluate the refund rate that is coming from the purchasers of that product, and we use that then to monitor whether, or to decide whether a vendor is a quality vendor or a not quality vendor, and then we work with that particular vendor to understand why their refund rate may be high and how we can help them get that refund rate down. And that may be because the product's not very good, or it may actually be, in many cases, the refund rate is high because their tech support isn't very good and they're not providing very good customer support. So we then work with them, and then based on where someone's refund rate is, if they come with a new product to launch and they have a very high refund rate, we may only allow them to launch that product if we change the reserve that we set on their account. And the reserve is the amount of money that we hold on that account before we would pay them out. Because if they're going to have very high refund rates, we use the reserve to manage that. So that particular quote about the FTC cracking down, for the people on this call who are subscribers to Adam's way of doing things, Adam is a very highly ethical business guy. His approaches are highly ethical. You will not have any problems with the FTC or anything like that if you follow those guidelines. Be passionate, communicate, add value, all the things we talked about earlier that make people very successful. They're the things that will allow you to be successful in this new, let's say, more regulated world than we've previously had. Now, going forward, as we clean up our own marketplace from these kinds of products, we will get to the situation where if it's in our marketplace, you will know that it's a good product. It has refund rates below a certain level, it has chargeback rates below a certain level, and you'll be able to safely select any product that's within that marketplace. It's going to take us a little while to get there, but get there we will. The comment on Google Panda has killed the other 90% of remaining sites. Again, that's anyone who was out there with a kind of, I don't know, who was out to defraud historically and was a low-quality internet marketer and was tricks-based and secrets-based and doing things that were unethical. Content farms was a great example. Anyone who was trying to make a really quick, unethical buck historically, yes, they're going to be caught out by Google Panda and other things that Google are doing. But then they're not the people that we have on this call. They're not the people that we at ClickBank want to do business with. So again, I just don't think that's an issue. I mean, Google Panda just means that you need to have unique content. Well, okay. I mean, what's wrong with that? I mean, you should be out there creating unique content on the web and promoting products that you're passionate about in a unique way. If you do that, then you can make money, and Google won't be an issue. I think I covered a lot of the compliance related issues. I'm just looking down through the questions. Lisa Martin asked, with the recent changes, how difficult is it going to be to get our ebooks approved by ClickBank? Is it easier, harder? What tips can you give? Yeah, I mean, I kind of spoke to that. Michael, do you want to add anything to that?
Sure. I think that, if you are presenting something, again, of value, that your ebooks are not trying to, I don't know, do something unethical, then the content itself is one thing. Then the separate or the secondary thing that we'll be looking at is how are you actually promoting these ebooks? What does your sales page look like? And as long as you are upfront as far as the expectations of the customer, are realistic about what the product content includes, then you should have no problems. And for someone like yourself, it's fairly easy, fairly straightforward. Again, or a tertiary aspect of this is the price point. So there are some folks out there who are pricing their ebooks at a reasonable rate for the market, and there are some folks who want to come in and try to price their products at $400 or $500 for a 30-page ebook kind of thing. So just be realistic about the pricing as well. Not to say that 30 pages of incredibly valuable, unique content isn't worth $300 or $400, but we will definitely take that into account during the approval process as well. So go ahead and move forward with putting that in for approval.
Yeah, Charles Seitz asked a very good question as well on the issue of compliance. What type of protection do we have through ClickBank as far as any lawsuit is concerned, and should you protect yourself by establishing yourself as an LLC, or in Europe as a limited company in the UK? Do you want to take out some business protection in that way rather than operating as an individual? Again, for this audience, I mean, the general guidelines, I was just kind of quickly trying to find them on the websites here, but I think certainly in Adam's blog, he provided a link to the guidelines about what you can and can't do as an affiliate, and I think this maybe it. Fake ID tool. So there are guidelines on ClickBank. I mean, back to Michael's point earlier, don't buy the product. Don't buy it through your affiliate ID. Preferably with the permission of the vendor to do that. Understand the product. Be passionate about the product. Promote it properly. If you're doing that, then you're part of the way towards being a kind of good affiliate in the eyes of the regulators. Don't use testimonials that are not true. That's a huge no-no. I mean, also, there's nothing wrong with, we talked about cloaking links earlier on as well, and in some ways trying to hide the fact that you're an affiliate. I mean, and there's good reasons to do that, because those of, the hot links can be kind of ugly things to use to connect to other pages. But I mean, if you can build a community where you're adding value and you've got a following and a readership, and you're then going to promote a product to that community and you've added value to them, why not tell them that you're an affiliate? Why not tell them that you are going to benefit from the purchase that they may take if you take them to another site? And I think in your disclaimer, I think legally I can't, I'll have to get back to you on this. I don't know legally whether you need to state that you're an affiliate in your disclaimer on your website, but I think you're getting to the point, well, if you're good enough at building the community and you're adding sufficient value to your readers and they get to know you, why wouldn't you tell them that I'm going to take you over to a page where this product, I've used it, it's great, it's fantastic, I recommend it, it worked for me, or whatever, it worked for my friend, and I'm actually going to get paid money if you purchase that product. If you're doing the first part of the job good enough and well enough, then I don't see that you're certainly not going to get into any legal issues through doing what I just suggested and being completely open and honest about what it is that you do. And to that end, there's a very famous venture capital guy in Boulder, Colorado here, a guy called Brad Feld, and I was on his blog subscription list for long enough. And whenever Brad, I'm going back a couple of years now, whenever he recommended a book and he put an Amazon link in his blog to that book, he always said, if you go buy that book, I'm going to make an affiliate commission out of that sale. Now, I think he may well have donated the money that he made to a charity, I don't know, but he was completely upfront about what he did, and he has been for years. And I didn't stop anyone clicking on his links and going up and buying the book. So I think I'll probably draw a line under compliance. Again, happy to take more questions offline if people have them, and certainly more specifics. But in general terms, working through Niche Profit Classroom, following the guidelines that we provided, that Adam provides, you won't have any issues.
Yeah. I mean, a quick note on the vendor side as well. If you are creating a product and you're looking at legal representation and protecting yourself through a LLC, I'm not a lawyer. I can't really advise you on that, but I can say that ClickBank is the merchant of record, so we actually take ownership of the product at time of sale. So we do take responsibility in making sure that the consumer is protected. So from the vendor side, you do have additional protection from ClickBank.
Okay, question from Joyce Larnard, who says, do you have an account for, or do you have to have an account for each website? And I think we can broaden that into, do you have to have, can you only have one product per account? And can you have a single domain host multiple accounts stroke products?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. Multiple accounts are actually encouraged, especially if you have a product that can be pitched to multiple different audiences, if you will. The advantage of having multiple accounts on ClickBank is that for each individual account that you create as a vendor, you actually get an individual separate marketplace listing. Let me give you a quick example. I have a client who has a health and fitness product that can be leveraged to lose weight, to quit smoking, and to help with sleep apnea. And he was going to promote that product under one account, under one product listing. And what we encouraged him to do is split that product up into 3 different product offerings in 3 different ClickBank accounts and have 3 different marketplace listings. Now, in order to manage multiple ClickBank accounts, we do have what's called the ClickBank Master account, which allows you to access all of your accounts from a single login. Another question is, can you have multiple products under a single account? The answer to that is yes, you can have up to 500 products within a single account. However, that 500 products all lead to a single order form. So let's give another quick example of a young lady who created a series of ebooks that were bedtime stories for children. And I think she had close to 60 different ebooks that she wanted to sell. And she created a single account and put all the products, all 60 different products within the same account. Well, on her website, she bundled those together into different bundled packages. So those led to the order forms, the appropriate order forms. I'm sorry, the answer was a little convoluted. What I mean by that is actually for each ClickBank account, you have to have a single sales page without additional coding. So what that means is if you have 60 different products, you're going to the same website to view all of those products. And how she solved that is she put those together into bundled packages, and with each bundled package, that was related to an appropriate order form with an appropriate price tag. So hopefully that came through clear enough.
Okay, we had a question from Vivian Tan, who was basically saying that when someone purchases through PayPal, you can see the name of the product and the vendor indicated on the receipt, and when somebody buys a product through ClickBank using a credit card, the credit card receipt doesn't show the name of the credit card statement, doesn't show the name of the product and all the rest of it. The reason for that is I think we are only allowed with our payment processor, which is a company called Payment Tech. I believe we're only allowed 16 characters. It may be slightly more than that, but we have a character limitation on that. And from a customer service standpoint, we have to put clkbank.com, which uses up some of those characters. So that's kind of the reason behind that. We're just limited in terms of what we can do there. We had a futures question. What do we see as being the futures of the future of kind of affiliate marketing and what that means for ClickBank and stuff? I mean, that's a kind of hugely broad question. The one thing that I would say that you can kind of play into the work that you're doing with Niche Profit Classroom. And I know Adam's had a couple of blog posts out on authorship, on the Google +1 and stuff like that. The one other thing that I would maybe add to that as a way of building a community and driving traffic is Facebook fan pages. We're seeing a lot of people being successful with that right now as a way of, again, not spamming people, but building a community, getting involved via Facebook. And what's really nice about that is the fact that you can even incorporate a Facebook comment on your website. So when you get traffic to your website, you can actually capture comments on there for Facebook. And then what's really nice about that is that gets propagated to your followers on Facebook, your fan page followers on Facebook, and the person who left the comments, Facebook followers as well. So that's kind of something neat that we've seen there. And it's not hugely difficult to set up a fan page within Facebook. So there's some neat ideas going on there, and people who are building up a lot of friends on Facebook, and are able then to build and extend their community. The only caveat I've heard in doing that is you need to select the name of your fan page very carefully. I did hear the story at ClickBank Exchange, which was our kind of user conference back in August. I did hear the story of someone who created a fan page called Cuba, and Facebook closed them down when they got to a certain size because they were saying that, well, you can't possibly be an authority on Cuba. Who are you? So you just need to make sure that you don't select a fan page name that is extremely generic, shall I say. So that was that one. An international question from Veronica. What do you think about the Spanish market? I think if you mean Spain as a country, that's kind of slow for ClickBank. If you mean Spanish as a language, that's growing very, very quickly within the ClickBank world. And obviously the US Spanish speakers, Puerto Rican Spanish speakers, Mexico's a very, very strong country for us right now. And we're doing a bunch of things to make that even better for our vendors and affiliates too. And we're looking at introducing, for example, offline payments in Mexico before, or actually in the whole of Latin America before the end of this year. And I think a third of transactions online in Latin America are consummated offline, which kind of sounds double Dutch, but what happens is someone finds something they want to buy online, they download the barcode, they go to a local 7-Eleven to pay, and then the 7-Eleven closes the loop with the merchant and says, yes, this product's being paid for, and then they're allowed to download it. So there's a bunch of stuff that we're doing in currencies and payment methods to support the Spanish-speaking market, although, as I say, Spain itself as a country is fairly slow for us and underdeveloped, but that could just be that someone hasn't grabbed that opportunity. Gerhard asked, are there any differences using ClickBank in the USA versus Europe? No, the platform is translated into Spanish, French, and German right now. We're extending to Portuguese and Italian again by the end of this year. There's no real difference, I would say. I mean, Gerhard, if you're a German speaker, I think there's a great opportunity. If you're an affiliate, I think there's a good opportunity there for you because I'd say the market is more open right now and there are more opportunities. Certainly in the AdWords space, it's cheaper to buy foreign language AdWords than it is to buy English language AdWords, so it's easier to test and such like. You get a better ROI from the spend that you have.
Okay, about the Spanish market, Adam, I emailed you a link to a sales page that's doing very well in the Spanish market on ClickBank right now. As a matter of fact, just launched this week, so feel free to share that with the group as well. If you feel that.
Okay, we'll do, definitely.
Question on mobile from Ernst. How is ClickBank positioned for, and how can its affiliates benefit and profit from mobile affiliate marketing? Well, a couple of ways. I mean, we've done some work on the platform here. In terms of, we have, let's see, this particular product, we've made the option to provide a mobile version of the landing page available within the marketplace, and we locate where the device the user is accessing the sales page from. If they're on a mobile device, we will serve up the mobile version of that. We also have, again, some of our largest clients are offering services to help people create mobile optimized landing pages and then creating mobile affiliate marketing products. So, one of our newest, biggest clients is a guy called Adam Horowitz. He created a product a year ago called Mobile Monopoly, which is all about how to build up an affiliate-based system using mobile devices. He also has a text-based mobile marketing service called Local Monopoly. So we're doing kind of our bit to support the mobile platforms. Actually, interestingly enough, the mobile landing pages on ClickBank convert much, much better than static ones. Whether there's a novelty there right now, I don't know, that people are kind of experimenting with purchasing via mobile, but I mean, an average kind of conversion from the initial hop to a sales page through to a conversion on ClickBank is around 1%. On a mobile device, I don't know what the average is, but I'm guessing 10%. It's an order of magnitude better on a mobile device than on a laptop. Mike Nardi and Kelly Holtzclaw asked about physical products, and ClickBank is all about digital products, software, games, information products, downloadable things. Why don't we allow physical products through the ClickBank marketplace? I'm smiling because I'm wondering whether to toss this one over to Michael. Sure. Because, go on, Michael, you answer.
Sure, absolutely. The first part of this conversation is that we do offer what's called digital flat media, which is if you have an ebook and you want to offer a physical version, a printed version of that ebook, we can already accommodate for that. The same like if you have a video training series and you'd like to offer a physical version of a DVD, we can accommodate that as well. As a matter of fact, we are working with several fulfillment houses to be able to integrate seamlessly, which you can do now, to be able to have those physical orders fulfilled for you. The second part of the conversation has to do with what are called ingestible or consumable goods. These are vitamin supplements, protein bars, that type of thing for the health and fitness industry. And we are venturing into new territory at this point. As a matter of fact, rolling out methods that we will be able to sell a membership to a customer, and as part of that membership, you get a free coupon for vitamin and mineral supplements and or protein bars, etc. And you can exchange that coupon in for this consumable or ingestible good. Now that's a step in the midterm because what we're trying to do is revamp the way that we're approaching physical goods, which includes a tremendous amount of work on our end regarding our merchant account and other details we can leave offline. But eventually, you will see ClickBank going more into the physical space, and we're extremely, extremely excited to bring new news to everyone here at NPC, as well as everyone else who's just itching to sell physical products through ClickBank. So more to be announced on physical products.
Cool, good stuff. We also, maybe just to wrap it at this point, we had